All right, here we are back in the shop. I'd be lying to you if I told you I wasn't super excited and highly motivated after how those front lines came out. So without further delay, let's get started on these back ones. So what I got right here, this is the tightest 90-degree bend that I can make. So that means this will be the shortest one that I can possibly have going into these four, as far as the distance from here to the top of the tubing. So I stared at it for a few minutes trying to figure out what the best way is to do this, the most efficient, hopefully the least amount of bends that I can screw up. I thought about running those from that side down the frame rail and then jumping them over to here, which really wouldn't be too bad, except for the fact that when I get ready to put a flatbed on this thing, I'm going to want to mount the bed down as many places as I possibly can, and that would give me this whole area right here that I really kind of couldn't use to to put a bed mount, which I like this spot right here, because then I thought about putting another one like right in here somewhere. So if I cut off this much area, that would make it pretty tough. And then these from back there. So I was thinking I could come in, I could bring them right across in front of the C-notch, because then all I gotta do is just make it a little bit shorter where I put my steel right there, and then just bend them and come here. Well, if I do it that way, I've got to stack them. I've got to bring one in right over top of the next one, bang, 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 which I've got enough height, that's not the end of the world. These two on this side, I don't think will be too hard, because really that's just a 90-degree bend there, come down here, and then a 90-degree bend there. And that's if I make them the top two that would come in right here. So right now that's kind of where I'm leaning. Although if I did do it the other way, where I just bent it and brought it across right into here, that would make things a bit easier as well. But I'd have to figure out how I want to mount them to the side of the frame over there, which means that they would have to kind of come up, over, down, then in toward the frame rail, because right now I'd say those fittings are probably 5 inches or more off of the frame rail, so I would have to bend it in toward the frame rail. That way I could put something on the side of the frame rail over there to hold it in place. Although I will say that would make it a lot easier just coming right across and into the fittings the same as I did these right here. I guess if I did that, I could use these two. That would still leave this open to put a bed mount right here, and I can just bring those two in from there. Might actually do that. I think we're going to try that with our first one. So I'm going to try to do the back right bag first. So I'll move the camera over there where you can see, and we'll just roll with it, see what we come up with. I think that piece I've got right there should be long enough. I hope so, because that's what I'm going to start with. So here we go. That went a lot better than I had envisioned it going, I'm not going to lie. Now, I will take this back off. It's got a little bit of, I gotta do a little bit of work kind of making it good and perfectly straight and everything, but I mean, it came out looking really, really nice. I cannot believe I hit that in one shot. I cannot believe that. That is quite the stunner. Look at that. Bang! Now, it is going to be 3 times as long as the bags for the left-hand side. I hope that doesn't mean that they will fill any slower. I don't think they will. I should have more than enough pressure for it to all work at the same speed, but that's just one of them things we're gonna have to figure out as we go. Now, the real chore. So we got that one done, but now we gotta make this one run kind of alongside that. I think I'm actually gonna need to kind of come above it up through here and then jump over, because it goes to the next valve back. It goes to that guy right there. So, not sure how hard that's gonna be. I don't have a ton of room to work with right here. Probably just enough room really to bring that line across. Now you see that thing's got a little dip in it. I'll take my hand and kind of straighten that back up. This stuff bends pretty easy. So I'll take my hand and kind of straighten that back up. And yes, I will come up with some kind of bracket or something to hold it right here. But man, I am just super excited about that. I really had anticipated wasting a whole lot of material trying to get that ready to go. Came out really nice, fits tight to the frame down through there. I'm really happy with that. I think that came out really good. Now, like I said, doing that next one's gonna be the real chore, man. Once I get that one done, we are home freaking free, I do believe. So, that took forever, but you saw how I made that one. Now, I'm not gonna waste your time sitting there watching me build the next one, because you just saw how I did that one. So, when we come back, this other line will be done. I don't know when that will be. It's probably gonna take me a week to get to that. Hopefully not, but we'll get this one done, and then we'll come back when I get it all bent in, show you our final product there, and then we'll see about doing those for that side. Yeah, buddy, look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Man, look at that. Holy cow. Do y'all believe I did that in 1 hour? Like, I can't even believe that a little bit now. Obviously, these aren't tight, and over there, none of that's tight. It's all just kind of hand tightened right now. So I got a couple quick grips kind of holding it in place right there. So at some point, I'm going to have to make some kind of holder for the lines, either right here on top of the frame, or maybe right here running along the side of the frame. I don't know. We'll figure that out here in just a few. But I mean, that, man, that is just so cool. That is exactly how I had envisioned it looking. Is it perfect? Of course it's not. But I am slap happy with it. So now, moving on to these guys. So I haven't totally got a plan together for them just yet, but here's what I know. That one stick right there, that is all I have left of my tubing. So I cannot waste, because it uses up pretty quick. So I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna formulate a plan for how I'm gonna do this, and then we'll come right back and we'll start bidding this stuff out. Hopefully it goes as good as those. Golly, I'm excited about that. Shoo, buddy. One step closer to being ready to ride. I am pumped. I hope y'all are. It's just coming out unreal. It's so cool. You know, when you kind of envision it all, and you know, even though, you know, it took a little while, you know, it took me some time, but you know, to get it to all lay out the way that I want it to. And obviously I have really bad OCD, so it all has to kind of be a certain way. It all has to lay out just right. I'm pumped. I couldn't be more excited and ready to get on this other side and get it done. We're gonna be hitting them switches and making this thing jump around in no time. So as always, if you got to this point, I really appreciate it. And hopefully maybe I earned, you know, a subscription from you. Click that little button, click that little bell, hang out with a brother. We're gonna build lots of cool shit on this channel, not just this truck. This truck is taking forever, don't get me wrong, never intended that, but it is what it is. I got several projects lined up coming up next that aren't gonna take nearly as long to build. Gonna try to introduce one of them to you here in the next couple weeks. So, you know, stay tuned for that surprise. Stay tuned for more of the War Machine so we can get her all done, and we will see you and the next one.